When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away, February the 25th of 1975, I, as a young Muslim, was devastated. Joe Tex' wife told me he was devastated.
The table with him. And Justice Elijah Muhammad told him that he kind of knew him before he was born. And
Oh, I have.
like,
I think I know where you're going with that. I have this. I have Joe talking about that on tape. I'm going to use that on the documentary, where he talked when he came through the area when he was a little boy, and he asked his mother could he hold the baby. This boy's going to entertain, and later on he's going to be famous. Is that where you was going with that?
Joe said that?
Yes, I have it on a tape when he taught at the mosque.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. When he told me, the part I remember is that when his mama was pregnant.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'm getting it wrong with something else, but yeah, that's basically what happened. And when Joe told me that, it was kind of like, okay, that's interesting, kind of hard to believe.
Exactly.
But things like that happen. So after he died, I asked his mom, and she said, yeah, that did happen. I mean, she repeated it.
Wow.
It wasn't like I said, did this happen, did this happen? She told me the story.
Uh-huh.
But I think she said she was pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
Elijah Muhammad, like when he riding the train, he was Elijah Poole.
Mm-hmm.
He came through Minnesota. But yeah, basically that's the story. And his mother confirmed that.
Well, praise be to Allah. I'll certainly mention that part on the documentary, because I thought he was just talking, to be talking. I said, I don't know,
Yeah.
But
well, I do believe that things like that can happen. I do believe there's prophetic people, and I think Elijah Muhammad was one of them.
Yes.
But I just wanted to, I'm kind of a nosy person. Just tell me again,
Yeah. So you bring up an interesting point. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had passed in February of '75, what did Joe tell you? How did you feel? We all were. I was registered. All of us was registered.
Oh, I'll get that later.
Okay.
Joe, how do you feel?
Right.
Oh, well, we were in the same room when he got the news.
Right.
He was devastated.
Yes.
Devastated.
Turning point of my life.
Huh?
I said it was the turning point of my life.
Because he didn't believe it ever happened.
Right.
From basically what we were taught.
Exactly.
So yeah, we discussed a lot of things, and of course he would go talk to the messenger about a lot of things too.
Yes.
But at the same time, he was grasping at different things to become more familiar with the way of life. I remember one time he came home and he said, I go all over this country, and I haven't seen people like you guys live the life like you do. I said, that's because we were anointed. The mom, Elijah Muhammad, touched my parents. He actually touched them.
Yes.
He was among them. He was like Jesus was with the 12 disciples.
Right.
And he looked at me and said, you know what, it must be true. I said, yeah. I mean, that's Brother Benjamin, Sister Clara, Brother Carol, Sister Carol, Brother, my parents.
When you say Brother Benjamin, that's the minister from Richmond, Virginia, and his wife, Sister Clara?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I got him when he came to New York and preached. I remember.
Right. These are the ones that Elijah Muhammad took under his wing. And he came like a Jesus. I mean, and made these guys prophets. My father became a field minister because my father was primarily he never let go of the fact that he was a businessman.
Right.
Businessman. So and Brother Benjamin went straight into the ministry. He was I believe he was a carpenter or something.
Right. He was with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from 1935.
Exactly. So, and my father came in after my mother. My mother came in and met them, and that's how they connected. So, so for Joe to have noticed that, that means he had a keen sense of awareness that I really admired. These things I admired in this man. This man was admirable because he had a keen sense of awareness. He did not have a hold-back spirit. He actually did divulge a lot of stuff he had no business divulging, but that's the way he was.
He's a storyteller. He was a storyteller. You know.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
he was.
And so now, what did we do? Joe Tex went back into the music business because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Wallace D. Muhammad, who had assumed the leadership, had told him to, why deny the talent that God gave you? Go on back out there.
Money done got funny. I don't hear nobody laughing. Money done got funny, but I don't hear nobody laughing. Make him put it back, make him put it back. Put every dime of the money back. Make him put it back, make him put it back. Put every dime of the money back. Money done got funny, but I don't hear nobody laughing. Money done got funny, but I don't hear nobody laughing.
That program of building a hospital, we're not going in that direction. So for 2.5 years, Joe Tex was out of the music business. He went back to the music business. He's confused. Minister or Imam Abdul Karim Hassan shared with me.
But the last time I saw him, before his passing, was in Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
Cleveland had a program, a bazaar, and Joe Tex was the leading attraction
Yes,
for
sir.
that bazaar. And he came and he put on a good show. And we had some private conversations, and he was still a little confused over the direction that Imam Muhammad was going, but he was trying to cope with it, and he still missed the traveling that he used to do and raising funds for the hospital.
Yes, sir.
He said, I'm going to kill history. I'm going to destroy history. And that's what he did. He destroyed history for my father and for his followers. He told us, don't believe history. Then he attempted to give us a history. And he did the same thing that the world did to the people. He gave us a history that was myth. He said the black man is God. Now, if you believe you God, who you gonna go to for questions? Who you gonna go to for answers to questions? He said, you God. Now, where you gonna go to have somebody answer your questions? The man was wise. Wise. Powerful psychology. Powerful psychology. If I can get these dumb, uneducated blacks to believe this myth, and they hold on to it, when they ever get themselves together, they're going to be independent. You following me? And he said, I come on July the 4th, the Independence Day of the United for the people of America, July the 4th. That is to say, I come for the same thing you all got, you white folks in America. You got your independence, but you got black people here that come from Africa, that you brought from Africa, and they are not independent because they are not in their natural minds. They are living under the burden of darkness.
So Joe Tex was confused. He's telling the white man now, I'm back. I got a hit record. Ain't gonna bump no more with a big fat woman. I'm not going around in these damn nightclubs that I was going to before with these raggedy dressing rooms, He says, now I want a white audience. I want an audience that could show my talent and appreciate it. He's coming back on his own terms. But see, when you go back to the grave, and when you go back now with a chip on your shoulder, the white man will break you down. And the white man broke Joe Tex down, though Joe Tex had a lot to do with it. but he was broke down. He began to smoke cigarettes. He began to drink. He began to mess with white women. He began to do a whole lot of things that eventually led to his demise and his passing away. And I can go into it and elaborate on it, but I don't want to. I just want to say this to you, that he left the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he fell. And he fell. And he fell.
It hit me so hard that I just didn't know really what to do. And what had happened is that when Wallace took over, he didn't understand that all he had to do is be calm and wait for Wallace to, assess the situation. And then I'm more than sure Wallace, in fact, my cousin said that Wallace told him he could have continued on doing what he was doing, because he was doing a good work.
Yeah, but Joe had told me that Wallace the Imam had told him that why deny the talent that God, Allah bless you, going back into show business. And I even have some quoted documents where he said also that the Imam said, I'm going in a different direction, that raising them funds for the hospital, we was going in a different direction. And that decision was why he went back to the music.
Right, that's exactly what happened. I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened. But on hindsight, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That was something he could have pursued after Wallace had made a better assessment of things, and that was the initial. What happened? What you just said, is what exactly happened.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is hindsight.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that was hindsight. But of course, we can't, redo that. But that's exactly what Joe felt, that Wallace was not trying to, continue what Honorable Elijah Muhammad was doing, and he wasn't. I didn't think he was either. When the first words he said was, the mind. What was that initial word he said?
He said, man is mine. He taught us to remake the world. I was at that very first after Savior's Day.
Exactly.
He came to Philadelphia Convention Center. I was there April of 27th, I believe, of 75. He did that Remake the World. And I was, in Queens, I was a part of his committees, all of that stuff that he was bringing in. And I thought it was too abrupt. And
It was.
And to me, he was like, everything that I believed in from a little baby was just cut out. He told us that, we had these men meetings that he would give us, I don't know, no special nights. He had meetings with just the brothers, and he would break down that the Yaqub was really his father, how his father was the one who wanted, like Yaqub wanted 20 to 25 years and the separate territory. He says, didn't that Yaqub? And he would do that silly giggle. And everybody would think it was so deep. But he was, I don't know. I get emotional when I think of that, because my family was pretty much tore apart behind that. We all went separate directions, and just
exactly. That's what happened.
Right.
Families were broken apart, and the thing is that I was always on the verge of walking in a different direction anyway.
Right.
Because of the questions I was asking my mom, and my mom couldn't answer them. And